Hey guys, welcome to What the F Are We Eating Now? Tonight we're gonna make our take on a double smash burger with cheese. So before we get started, I wanna preheat the skillet. We're gonna do the buns first. So I'm gonna turn the skillet onto like a medium heat, let that heat up a little bit. While we're doing that, I'm going to form these little ground beef balls. I have about 1.5 pounds of ground beef here. And I'm gonna make some balls out of that. Get them all ready. Actually, it's a little much. I'm gonna try to get them as even as I can, guys. Okay, a little more. My bowl is loud. Hang on a sec. I'm just gonna roll them into little balls. That one's actually bigger than all the other ones, so we can take from this one and put on this one just to make them a little bit even, because I kind of want them all to be kind of the same size if I can. All right, so it looks like we're going with 5. And look, we have 5. All right, so while that's heating up, which it's pretty close, I'm gonna prepare the buns. I wanna do the buns first. So I use mayonnaise, lightly brushed with mayonnaise. It makes a good crust on the bread even, you know, when it's toasted. Tell me what you would use. I mean, a lot of people use butter and such, but I found that mayonnaise actually works pretty well. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on here, and then we'll put them face down in the skillet. I want to try to get the edges toasted if we can. All right, that looks pretty good. So let's start with face down. Here's the tops, and following up with the bottoms. All right, guys, we're gonna check the buns. They've been sitting here for a little bit. Turn this over and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and take them off. Now, I tend to do the bread first because, well, let me know how you guys would do it. But I like to do it first. Yeah, those are nice and there they are. This is how we like them. Do you guys like yours lightly toasted, or do you like them darker than this? All right, guys, back to the stove over here. I want to put the temperature down to like a medium heat, so kind of in between high and low. And we're gonna put our bacon in. And I always put it away from me. Away from me. Alrighty. All right, guys, we're ready to flip the bacon over for the first time. Tell me, how do you like your bacon? I like my bacon done, but not like hard. And it's going on a burger, so just makes it easier to eat, I think. All right, guys, now we're gonna wait for this other side to cook here, and I'll meet you right back at this skillet in a few minutes. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take the bacon out and put it on a paper towel. I've got a plate lined with paper towels here so we can catch all the excess grease. And we're gonna need that fat because we're gonna put some vegetables in here. I wanna caramelize some onions, and we're gonna use that first to do the onions. Yeah, this bacon's gonna be awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna cut the onion. All right, so we're just gonna slice these onions. I got a really sharp knife tonight, so this should be no problem at all. And we're gonna tear these apart anyways. All right, so I'm gonna pick these up and I'm gonna put them in this bowl here just for a sec because I have to cut up another onion. And here we go. Okay, so the second onion's done, so let's go ahead and put it in this bowl. We're gonna return to the pan over here. All right, guys, so back at our pan, I did turn this off because I was in the middle of cutting onions and I didn't want it to burn or smoke on that bacon fat. All right, so we're gonna put it back up to about a medium and we're gonna add our onions. And I want to break them up a little bit just to, not break them up, but like unravel them, unonion them. And my eyes are burning right now, so I'm doing this with one eye. How about that? Okay, add those to the pan. We'll get them in sizzling, and I'm going to add also 8 ounces of mushrooms. These are baby Bella mushrooms. I'm going to add these in too. All right, guys, so now we're going to give these a good toss. Let them render down in that fat. Now to this, I want to add, once I get these stirred up here, I'm going to add some Worcestershire. I don't know. I usually just call it what's this here for sauce. So we're going to add a little bit of that. And I also like to come in with a little bit of Montreal steak just so it has more of a good flavor to it. Now I'm going to toss these around real quick. We want them to caramelize. Oh, and then we'll kick it up a little here. Hold on. With just a splash of Jack Daniels. That will give it the ultimate flavor. All right, guys, let's see how these are going. And they're starting to become translucent, if you will. So that's good. And the smell is amazing. Let's give these a quick toss. Spread them out a little bit so they can start grilling a little more. I don't know if that's grilled. Cooking. All right, guys, we're going to give this one final toss around here. They're coming together pretty good. They're good caramel on them too, caramelization on them. Just wallowing around and all that goodness. All right, guys, so we're going to turn the heat off this time. And we're going to remove these from the pan. I'm going to put them in a bowl here. Oh yeah, nice and sticky. All right, guys, now that we have it all in a bowl, looks nice and beautiful. Everything's well blended. All right, so now that that's done, we're going to return to our pan. We're going to turn the heat back on. I'm going to put it at like a medium high. Medium high. And once that comes up to temperature, we're going to put our meatballs in. All right, guys, so while the pan is heating up, which it's getting there, I'm going to go ahead and season these with some Montreal steak seasoning. So that way when we smash them, this all gets inside the meat. All right, guys, so now we're going to add a meatball to the middle. All right, hear that sizzle? And this is why they call them smash burgers. All right, so we're going to let that cook up on one side, and then we'll flip it over and repeat the process. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and flip this one over. And we're going to let this one cook for a little bit. All right, guys, so we're going to take this one off the fire. I'm going to place it in a bowl. We're going to put our next burger in and smash that one down. And once this one's done, I'll put cheese on it and then introduce the first one on top of it. So it's got to sit there and do its thing, and then I'll smash it down. And here we go to smash number 2. Very nice. Then we'll let this one cook and we'll repeat the process. All right, guys, time to flip this one. Look at that. All right, and while that other side's cooking, I'm going to put cheese on top of this one. And I'm going to place the burger that we had right on top of that. And I'm going to add cheese to the top of that one. All right, we're going to let this cook. And then once it's done, I'm going to transfer it to a plate until we're ready to build our burgers. All right, so we decided we're going to put a lid over this to melt this down a little bit. And we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and take the lid off. We're going to go ahead and transfer this to a plate. And we're going to repeat the process for our other burgers. Sorry, I got one hand here. All right, next one in. Let that sizzle up. All right, so here we go with burger number 2. We're going to let this one cook and we'll flip it over. All right, guys, let's go ahead and turn her over. Yeah. Now we're going to repeat the process. All right, so this is the second burger, third patty. When I flip this, once it's done, I'm going to put it in transfer it to a bowl, and I'm going to set up our fourth burger. All right, guys, let's go ahead and remove this. I'm going to put it in this plate here, and then we'll start with our fourth burger. Give it a few. All right, smashing number 4. Nice. And once this is done, we'll put cheese on it and we'll introduce, again, the other patty. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and flip this one. Cheese ready. Very, very nice. All right, guys, now we're going to put the cheese on this one. And we're going to add our patty wow, that's still really hot, that we put on there. Now I'm going to put cheese on top of this one. All right, so we're going to let this melt a little bit, and then when it's done, we're going to take it off and we're going to start building our smash burgers. All right, guys, let's get this burger off. Let's get it on a plate as well. Okay, guys, we have one burger left, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in here, and we'll make a triple smash burger. All right, smashing the 5th patty for the triple burger, or the triple smash burger. And when that's done, we're gonna introduce it to the other patties. All right, we're gonna flip this one over. And all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and add cheese to this one. And I'm going to let it melt a little bit, and we'll take it off and put it on our triple burger. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this one off of there. Turn it off. Now, I could never eat a triple burger, but my boyfriend sure can. Can you guys eat a triple burger? Because I couldn't do that. I have a hard time with a double burger. Let me know in the comments. All right, one's a triple, one's a double. Look how juicy they look. It's amazing. All right, guys, so now I like to make fancy sauce for my burgers. Smash burgers, hamburgers, doesn't matter. A couple tablespoons of mayonnaise and sriracha sauce. That smells amazing already. All right, and now we're going to build our smash burgers. All right, now we're going to build our double smash burger. So I like to start with a bottom and a generous amount. Just get it all in there like a big fat layer. And I'm going to grab my burger, set it on top, and to that I'd like to put bacon. I'm going to crisscross it today. Crisscross that bacon. Add our mushrooms and onions to the burger. Hang on a sec. Oh, it looks nice and sloppy. I like it. Then I'll have a piece of lettuce. And I'm going to move the burger over just slightly. And I'd like to slice some tomato on here. So I'm going to slice some tomato. Some thin slices. A couple thin slices of tomato. And then I need to put fancy sauce on the top. And then we're just going to slam it on top. Now, doesn't that look delicious? All right, this is the taste test. This is what the F we're eating tonight. Oh, it's gonna be messy. Very good. Very messy. Now, before I eat all of this, or the rest of this, tell me, how would you have made your smash burger? Would you have done anything differently? If so, please leave a comment in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You guys have a good night.